National.
I would like to see Herm and but I would like to see that.
Stand by.
And love860.com.
Yeah, 10 minutes past the hour, 10 minutes past the hour. Beat Break Radio, twitter.com at Beat Break Radio, facebook.com at Beat Break Radio, and at Beat Break. Shout out to No Flesh. What up, homie? It's the second hour of the Beat Break Radio show. You rocking with the best. Sean Garvey in the building. Anthony the intern.
Oh, I was gonna say it, but
Jeff the ref.
Jeff the ref, man, in the building, holding it down for DJ 360. Yeah. And once again, for those who are just tuning in,
Alex.
We got, well, I can't say Alex G. I have to I have to address him as Alex G after the show ends. So, but right now we are talking to candidate for East Point City Councilman Alexander Gothard. We still have him in the Alexander Gothard. He is in the building. And for those who are just tuning in, we are talking about his agenda for East Point. Now, December 6th is the day that everybody in East Point have to go out and vote. And once again, it's a runoff right now. We are getting to the point where the people will decide who will be the next city councilman for East Point. All right, now
hold up. Hey, the potential councilman is over here getting his head nod on to some.
He grew up on this music, believe it or not. Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, he knows about the Far Side.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Bay Area.
Yeah,
stand up. 360 in the house.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was about to turn my head. I'm like 360 here. What? Okay. All right, Alexander Gothard in the building. Okay, so let's move on with some of the questions that I have for you, because I have some other questions that I want to ask you before we let you go. Now, are you an advocate or an opponent towards a new government or on... well, let me ask you the question again. Are you an advocate or an opponent towards a new government complex? Will it benefit or will it hurt the residents of East Point, Georgia? Why or why not?
Sean, at this point, I'm not in favor of a new government center. I do think that development is good for the city of East Point, but not right now. East Point just can't afford it. Our citizens are struggling to pay their utilities, period. And I feel like just with the government complex, we should be using those funds for other things. And in saying that, the current council wants to use utility funds to help pay for this government center. And that there's a lot of mixing of the funds, which isn't good, but no to a new complex right now. And it's just not good for the citizens. We have an infrastructure that's falling apart. We can use those funds for those things. We just had a boil water notice not too long ago, in which we had to boil our water before we can drink it.
Wow.
So we need to address some basic concerns before we think about spending $15 million on a new complex.
Okay.
Are you the only person on the council who feels that way? If you were to be elected, would you be the only person on the council who feels that way?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
As you may hear, there are 5 current council members who appear to always vote the same way, and that's what this election is about a lot, because those 5 basically control what happens with the city. Those 5 voted to increase our utilities. Those 5 voted to change a lot of things that I feel were detrimental to the city. And in this election, one of them has already been eliminated. He already lost. So 2 more are in runoffs right now, and I'm in a runoff with one of them. So that's what we're fighting against, to get those guys out of there.
Okay. Now, did you have another question?
So we're looking at 3 possible new people.
Right.
3 possible new council persons.
Right.
Because, we have to say persons.
Right.
Okay.
be correct.
Total of 5?
No, total of 8.
Total of 8
on the East Point Council, and then the mayor makes 9.
So he's the deciding vote.
Right,
I'm sorry.
She's the deciding vote. If there's a tie.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. If we can't call Jeff the ref, then she's gonna break the tie.
Well, you know, because I'm available. I'm available. I just live down the street. We all voting.
Alexander Gothard in the building. Now, I understand that you have some other initiatives for the city of East Point. And what are those other initiatives that you have in mind for the city of East Point?
Yes, I do, Sean. I do have a few other initiatives. First, I'm an advocate of the youth, as you know, in my involvement with Men of Intelligence Association. But I think we need to get the youth more involved. So I'm going to propose bringing back the East Point Youth Council. It was there a few years back, but I think we need to get the youth involved in governance and let them know it's important that they get involved. So we definitely need to reach out to the youth more and give parents something to look forward to. We need to get young families into East Point. So we need to put more focus on the youth in East Point. And that's one of the things that I definitely want to bring back. Right. And also one thing that I have a problem with is the lack of information sharing from the council. So what I would also do is hold quarterly ward meetings. Of course, I would be talking to constituents more than every 3 months, but I would host a quarterly ward meeting every 3 months, just so anyone who has questions can get them answered.
Okay, all right. Once again, the telephone number is 404-355-8699. If you are in the city of Atlanta or if you are outside of the Atlanta area, you can call in at 1-866-923-2860. We have the candidate for East Point City Councilman, Alexander Gothard. He is sticking around with us to answer our questions as well as your questions. So please call in and let us know what those questions are so that we can have Alexander Gothard address them live on the air. 404-355-8699, 1-866-923-2860. Now, do you want people, especially the citizens of East Point, Georgia, do you want them to consider you as a politician? Because, you know, a lot of days, or at the end of the day, I should say, people are like, I guess, when you tell them politician, when you use the word politician, they just like, oh, well, he's just another politician. You know what I mean? So do you want people to consider you as a politician, as just a politician, or more than a politician?
Jeff, what did you just tell me about politicians?
I'm tired of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I am too. So, no, I definitely don't consider myself a politician. I consider myself a public servant, not a politician.
Okay.
That's big time.
Right.
That's big time.
All right. Now, why should the people of East Point vote for you on Tuesday, December 6th?
Great question, Sean. For a few reasons. I would just break it down like this. Right now, as the AJC reported today, it's a pivotal point in East Point. We're looking at, I would say, stagnation and just holding still versus stabilization. And moving forward, we need to sustain East Point. We don't need to dig ourselves further into debt with something that we don't need right now. We need to be responsible. And the example that I like to use all the time is, Sean, if you didn't have a job, you didn't have this nice job at Beat Break Radio, and you too, Jeff the Ref, if y'all didn't have these nice jobs, would you be out shopping for a new house? And on top of that, would you ask your friends and family to finance that new house? Would you?
No, I would not.
By no stretch of imagination.
Right, and I feel like that's what the city is doing. Our financial director has admitted that he wonders sometimes how we're going to meet our debt obligations from day to day. But yet we're out shopping to build, not even to fix up, but to build a brand new government center. it doesn't make sense at all. We need to get our financial house in order. I mean, like I said, I'm definitely pro-development, but I'm a fiscal realist, and we need to get our financial house in order. We need to address more important concerns at this point.
Okay. Now, what separates you from the other candidates or the other formal city councilmen of East Point? What separates you from them? Like you can just pretty much put it in one word.
Age.
You say age?
No, I would say willingness. I'm willing to represent the people. I want to represent the people. And yeah, you can say youth, because I think that is an asset, just because I have the energy to get out and do what needs to be done. I'm not just going to sit down and watch TV. I'm going to be out there. I mean, you won't just see me at council meetings. Just like now, I'm always out and about, and I'm not going to change.
All right. Strong, powerful comment right there. Don't you agree, Anthony? Yeah. All right. So how can people find out more about you, more information about your campaign, and how can they get involved in your movement?
They can go to I see Facebook is really popular.
It is, yeah. Facebook, Twitter.
Right. It's, on Facebook, facebook.com/Alexander Gothard. And they can also go to alexander4eastpoint.com. You spell out for FOR. And they can also email me at alexanderforeastpoint@gmail.com.
Now, when you win, and I'm just going to put it in the hands of God, that when you win on Tuesday,
we're claiming it.
Yeah, we claiming it. On Tuesday, December 6th, we got to do it big. We got to do the campaign party real big. So it's got to be bigger than last time. I mean, the last campaign party was cool. It was good. But we got to do it real big.
Right. And I hear you. I'm not thinking about a party right now. I'm thinking about getting in this seat and what I can do to help these residents. But I'm sure we will, have a little fun, of course.
That was a great answer.
Yeah.
Great answer. I'm glad to hear it like that.
Yeah, he's been providing us with some great answers.
Glad to hear it
for,
like that.
for not for only us, but for the people listening to us on Beat Break Radio. So any last remarks? Any closing remarks? Any shout outs?
Well, I would say that all politics are local. Your local politicians have the most effect on your day-to-day life and what the streets you're driving on, the utility bills that you're paying. Your local politicians or your local servants or council members make these decisions. So I would definitely say, even if you don't live in East Point, vote in your local elections. They have a very strong impact on your daily life. As far as shout-outs, definitely a shout-out to Beat Break Radio, Jeff the Ref, Sean. And I would also say shout-out to the intern, Anthony, who rolled up his hand. I forget you, Anthony. And then to Moya, Men of Intelligence Association, and the clothes drive on December 17th. Moya has done some great things, and I'm sure that Moya will continue to do great things. But I definitely thank y'all for inviting me here, and hopefully this is not the last time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Watch out.
Yeah, we gotta have you call in. We gotta have you call in, or come in. Whichever one you want to do, Alexander. You can come in or call in and just give us the latest on the results this coming Tuesday. So the people want to know, especially the residents of East Point, myself, Jeff, 360, everybody that's involved with Beat Break Radio. We definitely want to hear the outcome, the results from this coming election on Tuesday, December 6th. So definitely want to encourage people, especially if you are living in the city of East Point, because the only people that can vote you have to be a resident of East Point. Correct. Right. Yeah, you have to be a current resident of East Point, Georgia, in order to vote. So definitely, if you are a resident of East Point and if you are dealing with the issues that we have just addressed regarding what's been going on in East Point for quite some time right now, you definitely want to go out and vote and support Alexander Gothard for his efforts in in order to make the city of East Point a better place to live in. You know, so definitely support him on Tuesday, December 6th, by just getting your voice heard. That's all you got to do, all right? So once again, thank you so much for coming through. I wish we could have you in the building with us. You know, it's just only us guys here tonight, so no females, unfortunately. But
yeah, because more than that, she would have gave you the business.
She would have been like, yeah, she likes to interrogate people here on the Beat Break Radio Show. I mean, we wish we could have you stay longer, Alexander. But I mean, if you want to stay, because we definitely got some stuff we want to talk about, and we want to get your input on a couple of other subjects and topics that we're going to touch on.